We are back, man. Shout out to everybody out there at the Core Plantation doing what they need to do to survive. Shout out to the homegirl, Shawnee, Philly in the building. My sis Erica, Florida, aka Florida in the building. My brother David from No Compromise, James Youngblood. Man, you already know what it is. Man, shout out to the homegirls in Arizona. The time is time. Shout out to all my Vegas family. All my siblings out there in Vegas doing what they need to do. Shout out to, like I gotta say, the homegirl Jerica. Shout out to her. Man, shout out to everybody. Shout out to my brother James Youngblood in the building. Texas in the building, man. So shout out to that brother, man. Shout out to, again, everybody there making their way out of nowhere, man. We got a little quick, great topic. Hey, man, remember them police, the Goon Squad? Man, guilty nigga. Let's get it. Hey. Man, what is going on, man? I was trying to find some video of the Goon Squad and all their likeliness, but I don't know if I can find it. But remember those police in Mississippi that was torturing those black brothers? Well, they got their sentencing today, and shit, they got from 20 years to 40 years to 50 years. My thing is this. The dominant society knows this has been going on for forever. They know exactly what's going on. They know what's not going on, but still they want us to act like it's all good and keep it moving and push through it. Here's the thing that I don't also understand about the dominant society, how they act like they don't know what the hell is going on and they expect us to like play along with it like it's a script. And I don't think that that's cool. I think that that's emasculating foundational black American men, and I feel like they're out of pocket for doing that. There's a lot of things that's going on. I see they had a hazing at the University of Maryland. I think that's where your girl Gayle King went to school, and they was making them kids drink urine and all. Like, man, y'all, Roman Greco culture is really taking it to the damn extreme. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of the times, man, we're not really paying attention to what's going on around us because we have tunnel vision, which I try to suggest that you have. But it is also important for us to acknowledge that those police officers were found guilty. They don't really want to put that out there like that. That's why I'm doing the story today, because I was like, wow, I find that very interesting that these white supremacists or race soldiers were found guilty and got to serve time, and they don't want to put that nowhere. I was always wondering what happened with that too, because I was like, damn, man, these dudes tortured these black brothers and they did all kinds of sucker shit and we don't even really know what's going on. That is very, very weird. But I'm going to try to find some stuff on there. I tried to find some video, but it got blurted out and went to an Ozempic commercial, and I'm so sick of them talking about that bullshit. Y'all better stop taking all these damn medications that these dominant society people are prescribing with all these goddamn side effects and shit. They want to talk shit about herbs, all this other shit, man. Talk shit about that shit y'all prescribing that's fucking people up. So, you know what I mean? It's a lot going on, man. I just was very, very, very shocked that they gave those brothers all that time. But they going to be some white supremacist heroes when they go to prison. They going to be well taken care of. It ain't like something going to change within the infrastructure of the dominant society. They going to still be on code, and they going to get treated accordingly. So here, let me see if I can find this video. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. If I can't find it, oh well. I'm gonna try to find it. I think it's called the Goon Squad. Here we go. Here, let me see. There we go. We're gonna see if we can find it. Okay, they playing a commercial right now, but we just want to see what they was talking about, man, because I thought that was very important. And it's just very important for us to know this. Because they don't want to hold race soldiers accountable publicly. Oh man, that's some bullshit video. I hate it when they do that. I really do. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see what they say. If they don't, man, it's all good. They were just playing the video. Oh my God, who is that ugly woman? Okay, my bad. Let's see. I'm about to see. Here, I'm still looking. Let's see. Damn. I'm telling y'all, man, I be looking for these videos, and sometimes I'll click to make sure it's not clickbait, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna play the audio, and then as soon as I get to start recording shit, they be like, hell nah.
In Mississippi, 2 more police officers were given lengthy sentences today for their role in a series of brutal attacks, including against 2 black men. They're part of a group of former officers who are being sentenced this week after pleading guilty to horrifying charges that include torture and sexual assault. John Yang has more.
Amna, a federal judge in Mississippi, has just handed down the harshest sentence yet in a startling case of law enforcement misconduct. 40 years in prison for the 4th former deputy in the self-proclaimed Goon Squad in the Rankin County, Mississippi Sheriff's Department.
Wow.
A total of 6 former deputies have pleaded guilty. Federal prosecutors say that for nearly 2 decades, they barged into homes in the middle of the night, handcuffing and torturing occupants for information or confessions. The current charges stem from a January 2023 home invasion of the residence of Michael Jenkins and Eddie Parker. The officers repeatedly shocked them with tasers, sexually assaulted them with a sex toy, and shot Jenkins in the face, nearly killing him. Parker spoke to reporters after one of the sentencing hearings.
What's done already, man, can't be erased, man, can't be taken back. I relive this every day.
The years of brutal misconduct was documented by an investigation by Mississippi Today and the New York Times Local Investigations Fellowship. Brian Howes, an investigative reporter at Mississippi Today, he was part of this reporting team. Brian, the sort of the severity of this behavior and the fact that it went on so long really is eye-grabbing.
That's what I was just about to say. How does that go on that long?
It's very startling. Tell us how this self-proclaimed Goon Squad came about. How did it get started? How big was it? How did they pick the people they targeted?
Thanks, Sean. Well, it's unclear how the Goon Squad was actually started, but we do know that this pattern of behavior involved a core group of deputies stretching back nearly 20 years.
It started with anti-black racism. That's what it started with.
They chose their targets based on these people's alleged crimes. They mainly went after
on race. That's what they chose it on.
Folks that they suspected of dealing or possessing methamphetamine or other drugs. Then after they found them, they would burst into their homes or pull them over while they were driving and begin these brutal interrogations that often involved anywhere from repeated tasings to waterboarding to burning, you name it.
I mean, this has been going on for some time, say 2 decades. How many other cases are there out there, do you think?
Well, we don't know how
So all those cases where people were arrested under the Goon Squad should be all thrown out.
many cases there are out there, but we interviewed over 50 people who claimed they experienced or witnessed torture at the hands of Rankin County deputies. Of those, we were able to corroborate 17 torture incidents involving 20 victims dating back 18 years.
The sheriff is resisting calls to resign. How high up did knowledge about this go? How much senior supervisors were aware of this?
You're right, John. The sheriff has resisted calls to resign and has claimed numerous times that he had no knowledge of his deputies' actions.
Well, then you're not a good supervisor then. How do you not know what your deputies are doing? I know people were complaining. You were just overlooking them, holding up the blue wall.
But what we found were that some of the highest ranking deputies at the sheriff's department were involved and actively partaking in these torture incidents. And we spoke to multiple people who claimed they were tortured by deputies who said that they filed complaints with the department, which should.
What did I just tell y'all? He's lying. That the head sheriff in charge, you knew they was doing that. You didn't give a fuck.
Have gone to the sheriff and in some cases even reached out directly to him to notify him of his deputies' actions.
What does this say about the culture of the department?
Well, it says that there's potentially a deeply ingrained culture of violent misconduct at the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. This culture has actually been referenced several times in the sentencing hearings this week by some of the deputies themselves, who themselves acknowledged that they were indoctrinated into this culture and became a part of it as they went on at the Sheriff's Department.
The Rankin County is majority white. It sits right next to Jackson, which has one of the highest percentages of black population of any good-sized city in America. To what extent is there a racial dimension to this?
We found that the majority of the alleged victims who were tortured by Goon Squad members were actually white, and we think that that's because we are looking at a majority white county. However,
But that didn't stop them from torturing black folks, so stop it.
when people of color came forward and
Foundational Black Americans, I have to correct these people because people of color is a broad and ambiguous term. According to Dr. Claude Anderson, and people of color could be an East Indian, it could be a Native American, it could be a dark-skinned Latino. So no, you mean foundational Black Americans. Stop.
that they were tortured, there was often a racial aspect to the torture. They were called racial slurs. They were told to go back to Jackson, which is a common phrase, referring to Jackson and how many people at the department and in Rankin County see the city as a source of crime and corruption.
Do you think this is going on in other counties in Mississippi?
What a dumb question. It's going on in every county. Stop.
It's hard to say. We do know that across Mississippi, sheriff's departments have very little to no oversight. Our team, Alyssa Daly and Jerry Mitchell, have uncovered other accusations of sexual assault by sheriffs at different.
We're going to see what this video
The
say.
future of your business is here.
We're going to see what this one say.
Sentenced Hunter Elward to the maximum 20 years in prison. Jeff Middleton got 17 and a half years behind bars. They are the first two members of the Rankin County Goon Squad to learn their federal fate, all for actions of allegedly planting evidence, of torturing victims, even planting drugs and a weapon to try and cover their tracks. One defense attorney in court today admitted their actions were atrocious.
This has been a historic day and historic sentencing.
Hunter Elward, the man who shot Michael Jenkins in the mouth, got 20 years in prison. The first member of the Rankin County Goon Squad to be sentenced. His attorney stated in court that if deputies wanted to work overtime for the Rankin County Sheriff's Department, they had to work with the Goon Squad on the night shift. Elward apologizing for the actions of he and others for abusing and sexually torturing Eddie Parker and Michael Jenkins in what started as a suspicious person investigation, but later led to a cover-up.
Some would say, like the sun coming out.
Jenkins somewhat relieved that the man who shot him got 20 years, the maximum under the federal sentencing guidelines.
This scar never go away.
Hunter Elward stood in court and apologized to both men. Parker stood up in court and forgave him.
For, what, is given and what is done, I forgive that part. But other than that, he still did, what he did, and he has to be punished for that.
Elward put his weapon in Jenkins' mouth, pulled the trigger, but it didn't go off the first time. He did it a second time, severing Jenkins' tongue as the bullet exited his throat. Later Tuesday afternoon, Jeffrey Middleton was sentenced to 17.5 years in prison.
He should have got life in prison for that. That's murder. That's attempted murder.
The reported architect of the Rankin County Goon Squad. In the assault in January of last year, 6 officers tortured the victims, tested their tasers to see which one was the strongest, and tried to cover all the evidence after. Prosecutors say Middleton said he had no problems killing anybody.
Any claim that they didn't have any idea what's going on, I believe was put to rest this morning.
Middleton was a lieutenant who not only took part in the torture, but helped in the cover-up of the evidence. Attorneys for the victims maintain that this was no isolated.
So since they're covering up evidence, what do y'all think is going on across the United States of America Incorporated? All right.
Evidence, but evidence of widespread misconduct by the Rankin County Sheriff's Department and its leadership.
As Hunter Elward said through his attorney, you could not, as a deputy, work the night shift unless you signed on to work with the Goon Squad.
So you know what you were doing if you were working a night shift. So if you worked a night shift and you participated in it, you're just as guilty as the rest of them that were doing what they were doing. Stop.
That means the Goon Squad ran the Rankin County Sheriff's Department.
Wow.
They ran it. While Brian Bailey was at home, his officers ran his department for him because Bailey didn't care enough to supervise them and monitor them.
That's right. Just like I said before, you knew what they was doing. You just didn't care.
Both Elward and Middleton are already in custody and now headed to federal prison. 2 more members of the Goon Squad will show up here in federal court tomorrow to learn how long those former officers will spend time as federal prisoners. We're live outside federal court. Scott Simmons, 16, WAPT News.
Man, look. We better understand what's going on out there. And finally, some type of justice was brought to us and put these race soldiers in federal prison. But let me tell you something. It shouldn't take that much evidence for you to understand that police lack moral compasses. They don't care about having a moral compass, and they're going to do what they need to do to survive. This is survival of the fittest. That's why, as Dr. Claude Anderson has told us over and over again, we are the permanent underclass. So they're going to do us the worst. And they're going to treat every other racial group the best. That's why every other racial group participates in making us the last racial group to receive anything. That's why when we talk about reparations for the foundational Black Americans, everybody has some type of an excuse about why we shouldn't get the money. But ain't nobody participate in building this motherfucker for free. Man, that's the thing that trips me out. You want to tell us, well, we should do reparations, but you ain't participating in building this motherfucker. And if every other racial group of immigrants built this country, then where are the books? Where are the sources that state that? Stop. Foundational Black Americans built this country for free with our repayment that is owed to us. We are a special people, as Dr. Claude Anderson speaks. But as David from No Compromise says all the time, that should be ringing in my head. RNG. They are the masters of confusion. That's why so much stuff going on. That's why everybody's mad at Cat Williams for going on Club Shay Shay and telling his perspective on what he see in Hollywood. That's just his perspective. You don't like it? Create your own perspective and go with your own narrative. That's just his perspective, and I think a lot of people agree with his perspective because we see what's going on. But anyway, man, y'all go check out these articles. Go check out the University of Maryland hazing with what they doing to them students. I think hazing is outdated. That's a Roman Greco type of situation, just like our brother Dave from No Compromise. Shout out to that brother. Shout out to James Youngblood again. Hey, man, look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. We got to do a podcast, me, David, and James, and I want him to break down the culture of Valentine's Day. He did it once before, but I want him to do it again because I didn't even know this shit. I've heard different things, but I'm not going to state that because I didn't know that to be true and I know it to be facts and I never read on that. So if I ain't never read on it, I can't tell you I knew about it. But David, this was like a minute ago, he broke down Valentine's Day and the real reason of it. And I don't know it, and I want David to break that shit down. So we're going to have a thing about that. You say, well, why you want to talk about it? Because you need to listen to this brother break down Roman Greco culture. Man, David be having me rolling some of the shit he be saying about their asses and the books he done read about this shit. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know that shit. But anyway, shout out to everybody out there. You already know what it is, you know what it ain't. This is No I Don't Know TV. Hey, I appreciate everybody, that's listening, subscribing. Shout out to the homegirl Nuke, Sister Cobweb. Shout out to the homegirl Jerrica. Shout out to my homegirl, my sister Melina, North Carolina, a.k.a. North Kakalaka in the building as well. Hey, man, y'all know what it is, you know what it ain't, man. Go check out these articles, read it for yourself. Hey, I'll get at you next time. Guilty nigga. I'm out. Peace.